Okay, we're going to do a little review on how to load some data into Gradle, how to compute some descriptive statistics, how to transform and create new variables, and how to calculate scatter plots. I'm using this loaded in graphic data worksheet, and so I'm just going to go through the steps. You may have to watch this video several times and then try to replicate what I'm doing step by step. So number one says open the Excel dataset cars in Gradle. Now our data sets are already located on Blackboard. On their course materials, you're going to have to go to course resources, and down here at the bottom is data sets. The data sets are going to have the units of measurement for the variables. This is very important, especially when it comes to interpreting some of the variables. We have to be sure that we're interpreting the right units. So I would have to download this dataset cars. It's an Excel file, XLSX, and I already have it downloaded here. And to make sure that we can use this in Gradle, we just need to make sure that we only have one sheet saved in the Word file. We only have one. And we also need to make sure that all our variables are just one word. If we have several words, we need to link them together with an underscore. So here I have a bunch of variables on the price of a car, the age, the mileage, the number of owners, whether the car is premium car or not, and then the condition of the paint. And I know that from the code book. The code book tells me what each of the variables mean. So paint is condition of the vehicle, 1 to the poorest, 8 is the best. We call that a Likert scale. Now, if my data set is properly formatted, as in this case, once I have Gradle open, the only thing that I have to do is to drag it in. It's going to ask me when do I want to start importing from, and yeah, I want it from 1.1. Click OK, and it tells me what it did. It's 200 observations or data points, 6 variables. Sometimes it's going to ask me if I want to interpret it as a cross-section or a panel. I'm going to say no. So I did number one, open the Excel dataset cars in Gradle. Number two, create an index variable. We do that in Gradle. If I go to the menu add, it's right here, index variable. And it creates a new variable, variable 7, that is simply an index variable. And by that I mean it goes from 1, 2, 3, all the way to the number of observations that I have, 200. And so it might not be clear why we have to do that, but let's say that we have to scramble the data for some reason. The index variable is going to keep track of what was the original order of the data in the original data set. So I already completed number 2, create an index variable. Number 3, create the logarithm of price and mileage. Oh, by the way, notice what I did. If I wanted to see what's on my data set, what I have to do is simply click on the variables that I want to look at. I use Control to select several, and then I just do Enter, and it opens the dataset. Now, to transform variables into logarithm, and in econometrics we will always be using natural logarithm, it is very simple. I need to convert the logarithm of price and mileage. So I go to price, I go to mileage, I right click, and it says right here, add logs. That converts it into logarithm. So now I have variables 8 and 9. It's an L underscore price. It tells me what it is the logarithm of price. And L underscore mileage tells me what it is, the logarithm of mileage. Number 4, create a new variable called average ownership, defined as the age of the car divided by the number of owners of the car. So the way I do that is I go to add, and I go to define new variable. And I want it to be called average underscore ownership. Then it has to be equal to age of the car Gradle is case sensitive, so age has a capital A, I use a capital A, divided by number of owners of the car. That variable is owners. And I click OK. If I did everything right, I have a new variable here called average ownership, and it's equal to age over owners. Next item. Obtain the summary statistics of the variable average ownership and paste it in a Word document. Kind of what we're doing right now. So how do I do that? I right click on the variable and I click on summary statistics. And it tells me the standard summary statistics from your elementary statistics class. I can try to drag this and paste it into Word. And in the future you might have to do that, but I like using the snipping tool from Windows. And the snipping tool just allows me to drag an area, copy it into the clipboard, and then just paste it in my document. I do Ctrl V, and it's right there. I just center it nicely, and I have it. Of course, I cannot edit it because it's a file. It's an image. But if you want just a quick enter, that's the way to do it. Produce a histogram of price, title it price, and paste it in the Word document. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to my Gradle, and I select my variable price. To get a histogram, I right click on it, and a histogram is a frequency distribution. Click on it, I go over the default settings, and it creates a histogram right here. How do I put a title on this thing? I right click on the image, and I click on edit, and when it says main, title of plot, I'm going to put price, and OK. It is not doing it. There it is. Then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do to my snipping tool. I'm going to select the graph. And now that it's there, I'm going to paste it on the Word file. Center it, and there I have it. Now this last item says, create a scatter plot of price and mileage. Delete the trend line, you'll see what the trend line is, and title the graph price and mileage. Make sure the Y label reads price in dollars and the X label reads mileage in miles. Okay, so I close this, I close this, I'll go back to my Gradle. I will forgot what to do, price and mileage. So I do price, I do mileage. It seems here that price is on the Y, so mileage is on the X. I'm going to do a right click on these two variables, and the option is XY scatter plot. Mileage is going to be in the X-axis, so that's fine. If it wasn't, then I have to switch to the other one. And I click OK. Sorry about that, I think I'm dying. Notice how it immediately produced a trend line. That's a trend line that the question says we don't want. Delete the trend line. The way I do it is I go to edit, and I can see here that it fitted a line, that is, it estimated a regression, a linear regression. I want to switch that to none. When I click OK, it takes it away. Now I need some title, price and mileage, price in dollars and mileage in miles. So I go to edit, title plot, price and mileage. On my, I do price in dollars, and on my x-axis I do mileage in miles. And I do OK. It's taking a while to do this. I should have purchased a Mac instead of a PC. but I cannot afford a Mac. It's eventually gonna do it. Noticing that does that for a while. There it is. Price and mileage right here. Price in dollars, mileage, and I think I can copy directly this into an image. I have copy to clipboard, color, go back to my Word file, and click on paste, and I have it right there.